What's going on, guys? Today we are at Target and I am going to be showing you diet hacks. We're not only going to be grocery shopping, I put out a ton of content on this channel about how to grocery shop at various different locations. But today we're going to be talking about how to set up your diet, from things you need to buy in the kitchen, from things that are convenient to travel with, all the way to the groceries that you should be purchasing when looking to lose weight. My name is Jacob Zemer and I've helped thousands of real people lose real weight. Executives that have to go to dinners, travel, business owners who have hectic schedules, and people who are raising families. I have real strategies that work for real people to get in the best shape of their life. And today at Target, I'm gonna show you everything you need to do to be set up for success. The first thing you need to do when starting a diet is track your food. Even I have been tracking my food for the past 4 months. I'm now down a total of 30 pounds. I have an education in subject, multiple certifications, and a ton of experience helping people lose weight. And even I, while dieting, track my food. The best way to do this is utilize technology and download an app. There's MyFitnessPal, there's Chronometer, and we also have the Jacob Zemer app, which not only gives you custom nutrition using my approach, flexible dieting, but also will give you a custom training program based around the setup you have and the number of days you can train. But you need to start by downloading an app and tracking your food each and every single day. And when we use flexible dieting in particular, we're gonna be tracking calories, protein, and fiber. The whole point of tracking what you're eating is to do so accurately. And so that means for a period of time, you're gonna be tied to one of these food scales. These are the brands they have here at Target today. I actually ordered mine off Amazon. Ectocity is what I use. I have a small one, I have a large one. Sometimes I even bring the small one with me when I go to work. I'm not suggesting that for every single meal you eat, you are going to use a food scale. I go out to dinner at least once a week. It is possible to have a real life, raise kids, and have a career and lose weight. But when you're able to, you should always use the food scale. That way you have an idea of portion size. You actually know what 4 ounces of steak looks like. You know what 2 cups of blueberries look like. So when possible, use a food scale, and you should absolutely have one at least at home. Dieting requires time management. Yes, there's discipline necessary, but if you have meals prepared for you in your refrigerator, you're gonna be way less likely to rummage through your cupboards and eat your kids' food. So in order to have those meals prepared, we should cook in bulk. In other words, meal prep. And that is all meal prep is. It is simply cooking in bulk. If you go onto your grill and you're gonna grill up a steak, grill up multiple steaks. If you're gonna use your oven, cook multiple pieces of chicken at a time, and at the same time, simultaneously, cook up some broccoli. I'm gonna show you a couple things that I keep in my kitchen in order to make meal prep easier. Crock pot. Every Sunday, my wife right now, she makes a crock pot recipe. It's incredibly easy to set up, especially something healthy. Just throw it in the crock pot, go run your errands, come home to dinner. Another indispensable tool, in my opinion, are these air fryers. Air fryers are awesome because they're going to give steak or salmon or chicken a really crispy, savory taste. And they're also just throw it in and walk away. It's safe to just actually go about your day when using these. I also just really enjoy the texture of foods cooked in the air fryer, whether it be chicken or salmon. It's going to have a crispy taste, which is synonymous with comfort food. I also have both the Ninja air fryer and a Ninja Creamy, which is not necessary, but I like something sweet before bed. And the best way to get macro-friendly, affordable ice cream is using a Ninja Creamy. Sticking with the theme of dieting is about time management, I have a lunchbox. I want one that will remain cool and that I can pack multiple meals or put multiple containers in. So something like this, I would put a container of Greek yogurt in, I would put a packet of raspberries in, and I would pack up my lunch in a Tupperware and keep it in here. Besides a lunchbox, I'm also have a couple of coolers. I have a soft shell cooler and I have a hard shell cooler, depending on what the situation calls for. And the last thing for accessories, you want to have a water bottle, and it's very important that you know how many ounces of water are actually held in the water bottle. That way you can track your hydration. You should be drinking 0.8 times your body weight in water each and every single day. And when you're dieting, this is really important so that you can maintain hydration in your muscle tissue, so you can perform at the gym, and also because water is going to help with bowel movements, because water binds the fiber and helps push it out. I have one of these Owala bottles, not this one. I have this, and the reason that I do is my wife bought it, and I actually ended up nabbing her all black one, and I fell in love with it. And since I bought 2 of these, I really like this. I have no affiliation with the brand, but I just like the little straw thing, and I find that it keeps my water really, really cool. So this brand in particular, I have found of all the mugs that she's bought over the years, this is my favorite one. Wearables are incredibly helpful while dieting. Activity is one of your main sources of calorie burn. It's called NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, and it makes up the largest portion of your metabolism. So with a wearable, you can accurately track your steps. I have the new Ultra 3. I like that for executives or working professionals. If you're a runner, I really like Garmin, but either of these are going to allow you to track your steps. They're going to allow you to track your resting heart rate, and incredibly important metrics for your health. And it's also going to allow you to determine what zone you're in while doing cardiovascular activity. Are you in zone 2? Are you in zone 4? I have some added benefits to my Apple Watch. I like it because I can also use it while in the sauna to listen to music, and I can use it to time rest intervals while weight training between sets. Now that we have the accessories you need to hack your diet, we're going to go grocery shopping. When it comes to nutrition, I practice flexible dieting. That means 80% of what you eat should be single ingredient foods. The other 20% can be foods that help you hit your macros or foods that you actually enjoy. At the foundation of flexible dieting, the bottom of the pyramid is portion size. That's why it's so important to track, and that's why it's so important to use a food scale so that we can learn to track accurately. If you eat less food, you will lose weight. However, there are other important considerations like the second portion of the pyramid, which is protein. Protein is the most important macronutrient. You should be eating at least, at a minimum, 0.8 grams of protein per pound. So if I weighed 200 pounds, I would be eating at least 160 grams of protein a day, and ideally lean protein. In order to accomplish this, making sure at the bottom of the pyramid, that calorie, the portion size, that we stay under in calories, while making sure that we hit our protein goal, I have what's called the protein test. So we're gonna look at some lean ground beef here. On the back of the label, it shows 21 grams of protein. You're gonna take those grams of protein, in this case 21, add a 0 to it, 210. Does it have that many calories or less? This in fact does, so this passes our protein test. If something does not pass the protein test, it doesn't mean that it's a bad food. It could be high in fiber, it could be rich in omega-3s, but it will not be as efficient as possible at helping us hit our protein goal. We also want to optimize lean protein because those are going to have less calories. So 0.8 times your body weight in protein is the minimum amount of protein you should be eating a day while practicing flexible dieting. The next line on that pyramid is going to be fiber. For every 500 calories you eat in a day, you should be getting at least 10 grams of fiber. Certain foods are going to be richer in fiber than others. Beans, oats, always very rich in fiber. And fruit and vegetables actually have the lowest calorie to highest fiber ratio. In particular, raspberries, incredibly high in fiber. And the reason that we prioritize fiber is because not only it helps your gut microbiome, it also helps you feel fuller for longer, but it is tied to a host of health benefits. Avocado, incredibly rich in fiber. We've got carrots, incredibly rich in fiber. And then we have a ton of cruciferous vegetables, kale, spinach, very high in fiber. Green beans, Brussels sprouts, very rich in fiber. If you incorporate a lot of fruit and vegetables into your diet, you will absolutely increase your fiber intake. That's why in my coaching program, I recommend that clients get at least 1 to 2 servings of fruit and vegetables with each and every single meal. 80% of the foods you're eating on flexible diet should be foods like this: protein, fruit, vegetables. So what do we do with the other 20%? Well, one of the things that you want to consider is there's certain foods that are going to really help you hit your macros. So these foods, like protein bars, like protein cookies, they're not technically single ingredient foods. They shouldn't be the bulk of your diet, but many people struggle to hit their protein goal without using protein food supplements. And when you're starting off in your diet, especially, it's okay to utilize these products. It's almost like training wheels. And even for somebody like me, with my career, with my family, I still have a protein bar from time to time. I'll throw a scoop of protein powder in with my Greek yogurt. I still utilize these products in order to help hit my protein goal each and every single day. And you can also find products that are gonna help you hit your fiber goal, like high fiber bread products or products like these Joyride candies that are very rich in fiber and very low in calorie, and they use food science to convert corn into these tiny, delicious little gummies that are low in calorie and high in fiber. So utilizing things like this for your other 20% to help hit your macros of protein and fiber, very useful. The other thing you can do with those 20% of calories that are flexible is have foods that you actually enjoy, whether that's a healthier alternative like the Yasso Greek yogurt bars, all the way to actually having the real thing, a Snickers ice cream bar. These sort of foods do not prevent you from losing weight. It is all about portion size, the first tenet of flexible dieting. Guys, you are going to go out to dinner with your family. You are going to have a slice of pizza with friends. We are using a realistic approach to get you in the best shape of your life because you will be able to sustain that long term. My name's Jacob Ziemer. I've helped thousands of people get in the best shape of their life. If you want to learn more about my program, you can go to jacobziemer.com, check out my coaching page, check out my app. We put out long format content each and every single week on this channel, put out short format content each and every single day on Instagram, TikTok, and again, here on YouTube. And the content we're putting out is about training, it's grocery store shopping, it's stuff that's actually gonna move the needle in your health and fitness. Thanks for tuning in.